Hello and welcome. My name is Miss Barnes, and today we are going on a journey. How many of you are ready to go on a journey with me? Okay, good. Well, today we are going to talk about dreamers. Anybody a big dreamer? Any big dreamers? Okay, I know I am. So what do you dream about? Do you dream about having a lot of money? Or maybe eating all the candy you want and never going to the dentist? Maybe taking a trip. Maybe going on the island. Maybe somewhere hot. Maybe somewhere cold. Well, we're going to talk about 3 kids today. We're going to learn their hopes and their dreams and what's important to them. Do you want to meet them? Okay, let's go. Let's jump right into it. The first person we're going to meet is Cassie. And Cassie lives in 1934, which was a long time ago, right? And this was after slavery. So Cassie and her family, which is her mother, her brothers, her 2 brothers that is, her dad and her grandma, well, they have themselves a tough life because back then whites and blacks still had a tough time getting along. See, Cassie, she had it tough. She couldn't even ride the school bus. How many of us ride the school bus? I do. And guess what? She had to walk to school. Walk in the rain, in the sleet, in the snow, and get her clothes dirty. And guess what? She had to wear them the next day. Dirty clothes. She even, her books at school, how many of us like to get new books? Cassie had to get used books that have been passed down from years to years. Yeah, Cassie had it tough. But they had fun too. Her and her brothers got into so much trouble. Matter of fact, do you want to hear a story? Okay, let me read it to you. Well, in Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry by Mildred D. Taylor, they have so many stories about Cassie. Let me pick one. This is about when Cassie was in the store. And she says, excuse me, Mr. Barnett. I said politely as I could, waiting a moment for him to look up from his wrapping. I think you forgot, but you was waiting on us, for you was waiting on this girl here, and we've been waiting a good while now for you to get back. The girl gazed at me strangely, but Mr. Barnett did not look up. I assumed that he did not hear me. I was near the end of the counter, so I merely went to the other side of it and tugged his shirt sleeve to get his attention. He recoiled as if I struck him. You was helping us, I said, back into the front of the counter again. Well, you just get your little black self back over there and wait some more, he said in a low, tight voice. I was hot. I had been as nice as I could be to him, and here he was talking to me like this. We've been waiting on you for near an hour, I hissed. Wow, you ain't around here waiting on everybody else, and it ain't fair. You had no right. Ooh, can you imagine? Do you think Cassie got in trouble? Do you think the store owner kicked her out? Maybe her dad came and saved her. Well, if you want to know more about Cassie and her brothers and what happened after that day at the store, you need to read Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry by Mildred D. Taylor. And it'll tell you all the stories about the craziness, the fun times, and the sad times that Cassie and her family get into. Okay, let's meet somebody else. You ready? Alright, let's go all the way to Flint, Michigan. Now, in Michigan, it is cold. Oh, super cold. And we're going to meet my friend Kenny. Now, Kenny has an older brother named Byron, a juvenile delinquent, who's 13. And he has a little sister named Joetta, and a hilarious dad, and a funny mom too. And they laugh, they get into so many situations. You want to hear a funny story? Okay, let me tell you a funny story. So, Kenny, my friend, and Byron, one day they are getting the ice off of their big brown car. They call it the Brown Bomber. And they're getting the ice off because it is so cold. Now, while Kenny and Byron are arguing about who needs to get off the most ice, all of a sudden, Kenny hears someone sound like this. And guess who it is? Byron, Mr. Juvenile Delinquent himself. Do you know what happened? He thought he looked so fine, he kissed the mirror. And his lips got stuck to the mirror. someone's lips unstuck from a mirror. Now, Mama said call 911, but no, she didn't. She took Byron's face and she pushed it off. And Byron screamed so loud the whole neighborhood heard. Can you believe it? Brothers and sisters can be a trip, right? So Byron is screaming and Kenny is laughing. If you want to know any more about what happens to Byron, Kenny, Joetta, and Mama and Daddy, you have to read The Watsons Go to Birmingham 1963 by Christopher Paul Curtis. And they take this trip down south to get out of the snow all the way to Birmingham. And boy, do they get into some predicaments. They have some funny stories. And they have some sad moments too. Because it was in 1963 and a lot of stuff happened back then. Some happy, some sad. But if you want to learn more about what happened in the trip, make sure to pick up the book, okay? Alright, lastly, we're going to go to Arbor Projects. And that's where my friend Junebug lives. That's his neighborhood. And he lives there with his mother and his aunt and his baby sister. And he's responsible because he watches his baby sister after school. Anybody ever have to do that? Any of us babysitting? Well, Junebug was doing that every day. And where Junebug lived, he had to be overly protective of his sister because there was some bad stuff going on. There was a lot of violence, a lot of fighting, some drugs, a lot of not so good things that we shouldn't be doing. So Junebug wishes that he wants to get away. That is his dream. And one day his mom tells him that they might actually be moving. How many people have moved before? It's scary, right? Well, Junebug deals with those same emotions. So, Junebug, I didn't even tell you, it's almost Junebug's birthday. He's about to be 10 years old. Can you guess what he wants for his birthday? Not a bike, not a cake, not any of that. He just wants corks. You know why? Because he collects bottles. And he puts little secret messages in them. And he has a place. He's going to float all his bottles out to sea. You want to know the secret message? You do? Well, if you want to know the secret message, you got to read the book. You have to read Junebug by Alice Mead. And you get to find out, does Junebug ever move? Whatever happens to him and his sister? And does his wish come true? Does he really get to go away? And what's the secret message most of all? So if you want to know, make sure to read Junebug, Alice Mead. Okay, so today we met Kenny, we met Cassie, we met Junebug. We learned about their personalities, some of the problems that they have, and some of the fun times they have too. Now, dreaming is big. Always dream big, just like they did. And if you're interested in learning more about their stories, feel free to pick it up. Now again, I just want to say thanks for joining me. Keep dreaming, keep believing, and keep reading. Thank you.